We back with another reflection on the Daily Vedantic, and today's reflection is on the wombs of sorrow. This is a phrase that refers to all of our external pursuits in life. And it is a three-word phrase I never heard, never considered before studying this philosophy. Wombs of sorrow. We naturally think of wombs as the incubation of something beautiful, birth, life. But this phrase, applying to our outside external pursuits, it applies to things that we think are good, but it is creating the inevitable hangover that we are going to feel. We feel a jolt of energy, and yet what we're doing is creating the conditions for a dissipation of energy on the other side. A negative, as you could say. Wombs of sorrow. Last episode, we talked about modern myths that the world wants us to believe. The modern myth is that happiness is outside of us. It is only attained outside of us. On mountaintops, some purchase of some amazing house right by the water, brand new car, brand new job, that those are the places where happiness exists. And yet we all know that happiness is a state of being within ourselves. Schopenhauer said it best when he said, happiness is difficult to find within ourselves, but impossible to find anywhere else. That nails it on the head. Happiness cannot be bought. Whatever feeling of joy we get from purchasing things, from getting that promotion, from seeing our name in the newspaper, those joys are not only fleeting, but those are the wombs of sorrow. Much like the addict that thinks joy is in that bottle, only to have a person's entire life go into that bottle with them. To wake up with that insane hangover after that night of indulgence. Many of us know that feeling. I know that feeling. But that night, that entire experience was the womb for which the sorrow the next morning was born. Wombs of sorrow. What a concept. And the profundity of that concept is that the sorrow that we feel, that we find ourselves in, we could have seen the night before, a mile before, years before. By recognizing when it is an impermanent joy, an impermanent external pursuit, it is inevitably a womb of sorrow. And this actually ties to one of our recent episodes where we talked about this knowledge bomb within this philosophy, that which is sweet in the beginning is like poison in the end, and that which is like poison in the beginning is sweet in the end. When something hits your lips, hits your mind, and it just feels saccharine and sweet, maybe create some elbow room. Take a step back and see, is this a womb of sorrow? Is this indulgence just going to have a price that doesn't make it worth it right on the other side? Is it just too expensive for real consideration? Right action and wrong action within Vedanta, they're very simple. There aren't any shoulds or shouldn'ts. There are no shouts or shout nots. There's no edict of commandments. Right action is that which generates energy within you. Wrong action is that which dissipates energy within you. When you combine these two principles, it's this beautiful litmus test of, okay, is this sweet right in the beginning? Probably is going to dissipate my energy. Versus, okay, is this a little bit bitter in the beginning? Maybe that's a womb of energy, of joy on the other side. As Swami says all the time at the ashram, nothing feels as good as doing what you ought to do. As good as we all have thought in our lives, as good as we have all thought it feels to do what we shouldn't do. Maybe it's worth reflecting, kicking the tires, questioning, is there any truth to the phrase, nothing feels as good as doing what we ought to do? Is that where energy generation lies? Instead of energy dissipation. Instead of what might feel good in the moment, but is just a womb of sorrow. That's today's reflection on the Daily Vedantic. We'll see you next time. Thanks for listening to the Daily Vedantic. This reflection is part of a free repeating 2-year course in Advaita Vedanta. Rooted in the timeless wisdom of the Upanishads, arguably the oldest philosophical texts on earth, you can begin with episode 1, which gives the 15-minute overview of the whole philosophy of Vedanta, or you can join the journey with any episode at any point. But the critical aspect of this course, of understanding and mastering anything, is to study and reflect, even for 10 to 15 minutes on the timeless each day, preferably at the start of your day. As is said in this philosophy, reflection is 100,000 times as powerful as listening. So listen, journal, sit with, discuss these concepts, or ask questions at thedailyvedantic.com with our AI-powered chatbot informed by about 700 episodes here, as regularly as one can, if you want to see clarity and peace almost effortlessly unfold in your daily life. And if it doesn't result in a near immediate increase in clarity and peace, then toss aside and feel free to never listen again. One of the things that you might notice is after 7 or 8 days in a row, this doesn't feel like a discipline. This feels like a visit with a best friend to dive into the timeless with daily reflection. Within a few days, it becomes one of your favorite parts of the day. You can also find out more, including news about in-person events in Los Angeles and beyond, at the Daily Vedantic on Instagram or through our weekly newsletter at thedailyvedantic.com. Additionally, check out the links in our show notes for more resources like the books that are mentioned most frequently in the episodes, including Vedanta Treatise, perhaps the simplest and most straightforward read on this philosophy I've ever come across. Until next time, and from the entire team that works on the Daily Vedantic project, thanks for listening.